He answered the call, then vanished forever. What if the last phone call you ever answered was the reason you disappeared? At 11:47 p.m. on a cold November night, the phone on Ethan Walker's kitchen counter rang exactly once. He looked at the screen. No caller ID. Ethan hesitated. He almost let it go to voicemail. That decision would have saved his life. Instead, he answered. 14 days later, Ethan Walker was officially declared missing. No body, no suspects, and one piece of evidence investigators still can't explain. Ethan Walker was 34 years old, living alone in a small town outside Des Moines, Iowa. He worked as an insurance claims analyst, boring by his own admission. He had no criminal record, no known enemies, and no history of risky behavior. Friends described him as predictable, routine-driven, safe. Every weekday looked the same. Work until 5:30 p.m., an hour at the gym, dinner at home, and a phone call with his sister every Sunday night. Which is why what happened next made absolutely no sense. According to phone records, Ethan received a call at exactly 11:47 p.m. from a number that did not appear on any carrier logs. It wasn't blocked or private. It simply did not exist. The call lasted 38 seconds. No one knows what was said, but neighbors later told police they heard Ethan's front door open less than a minute after the call ended. Security cameras on the street captured Ethan stepping outside without a jacket, without his wallet, and without his phone. He looked calm. Then he walked out of frame. That was the last confirmed sighting of Ethan Walker. Ethan didn't show up to work the next morning, which alone raised alarms. By the second day, his sister reported him missing. Police searched his home and found everything untouched. No signs of a struggle and no missing valuables, except for one thing. Ethan's laptop was open on the kitchen table. On the screen was an unsent email draft containing only one sentence. "If anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident." There was no timestamp and no recipient. Just that line. Investigators dug deeper into Ethan's financial records and discovered that 3 months before his disappearance, he had rented a storage unit and paid for it in cash. Inside, police found printed spreadsheets, bank statements, photos of handwritten notes, and a burner phone that had been destroyed beyond recovery. The documents suggested Ethan had been tracking a pattern of insurance claims, specifically deaths ruled as accidents. The cases shared the same characteristics and the same payout structure, but occurred in different states. At least 9 cases in total. All approved, all closed. Detectives believed Ethan had uncovered a fraud ring, possibly involving staged deaths or manipulated investigations. But there was a problem. None of the victims were connected to each other. Different ages, different backgrounds, different cities. The only common link was the insurance provider and Ethan himself. When investigators contacted the company, they denied any wrongdoing and stated that Ethan had never raised internal concerns. However, co-workers later admitted that Ethan had become paranoid in the weeks leading up to his disappearance. He believed someone was watching him. 4 days after Ethan vanished, a gas station clerk from a town 2 counties away contacted police after reviewing security footage. A man matching Ethan's description appeared on camera at 2:13 a.m. the night he disappeared. The footage showed Ethan standing at the counter, but something was off. He wasn't alone. A second figure stood just outside the camera's frame, visible only as a reflection in the glass door. Tall, motionless, watching. Ethan never looked at the clerk, never spoke, and never blinked. Then both figures walked away. Only one of them was ever identified. 2 weeks after Ethan vanished, his sister received a voicemail from Ethan's own number. The message was 8 seconds long and mostly silent, but at the very end, a faint could be heard. "They know you're listening." Phone records showed the call originated from a cell tower near the storage facility. Police rushed to the location, but the unit was empty. Everything inside was gone, including Ethan. To this day, Ethan Walker has never been found. There have been no remains, no arrests, and no official suspects. The insurance cases Ethan was investigating were quietly reopened and then quietly closed again. Authorities now classify Ethan's disappearance as voluntary. His family strongly disagrees, because the last thing Ethan ever did was answer a phone call that should not have existed. And somewhere out there, someone is still making them. If a call came from a number that doesn't exist, and the person on the other end knows everything about you, would you answer it?